Okay, so the character that I chose to write about is a 12-year-old Korean American girl whose name is Sky, and she lives in Brooklyn, New York with her two siblings and parents. It's 9 a.m. on a Saturday in this scene, and she is on her bottom bunk in her room listening to trying to drown out all the cars and noise outside, and her sister who's sleeping above her while she is watching K-pop videos and trying to memorize the dances because she would like to be a K-pop star. She's smelling her mom is making eggs and tofu and beans out in her room, and she knows that she's probably going to come in any minute to wake them up, so that she's trying to get her last few minutes in. And she lives a pretty comfortable life, all things considered, but her family are immigrants, and her biggest struggle right now is that she wants to be the K-pop star, but since they moved not long ago to America, that's her biggest hurdle because she needs to start training in order to get into the K-pop life pretty much now. And the hurdle is that she now lives in America. So her goal is to try to convince her parents to let her audition and move back with her grandparents in South Korea. Okay. I have like 3 sentences. Okay. She's like talking to her sister. And she says, K-pop isn't made in a day, Alexa. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today is obviously going to be a writing vlog day because originally, if you've watched some of my past videos, then you probably know that I was supposed to be at a writing conference at the end of this month, aka yesterday, today, and tomorrow. But unfortunately, that did get canceled because of COVID-19. So instead, I was able to participate in one of the workshops that were going to be offered at the writing conference was offered online instead. So part of that, what you just saw previously, was me interacting with a few group of people. There was only 5 of us. It was really small and it was actually really nice. But we ended up doing a workshop on kind of writing diversely and including all sorts of diversity, not just the ones you see most often, which is like sexual orientation, race, and ethnicity. So part of that was like we were given a writing prompt, as you probably saw, and I was trying to write like a 12-year-old Korean American immigrant who wanted to get into K-pop. And it was really fun. Like I said, I got to interact with these people, and it was a group of women, which was also awesome. And it was just, it was a really cool time. The workshop was about 2 hours long. So that is what I did. Like, I wrote out my day. So I just wanted to pop in and actually officially introduce this video, since most of it was more just like vlogging and not me interacting with you guys. But for the rest of today, it is Friday, March 27th at 11:42 in the morning. I am going to go and make myself some lunch. I think I'm just going to make myself a turkey sandwich. Probably another cup of coffee because mine is almost empty and cold now. And for the rest of the day, I'm going to be prepping for Camp NaNo. So every April and July, NaNoWriMo, the organization for National Overall Mining Month, hosts 2 camps. And essentially camps are a little bit more loose structured. It's not so much that your goal is to write 50,000 words or anything, but you can kind of tailor it how you want. So for the month of April, and given the fact that I'm probably staying home more often than I'm anticipating ever in my life, I'm going to be working primarily on edits for my young adult fantasy, as well as working on the remaining edits for my adult co-written fantasy. And I think I can actually attain both. But today I am going to be writing out some of like the structure for my young adult novel, mostly because I know that there are parts that I have lost somewhere in the making of that original draft, and I need to kind of define out what my 2 main characters, like what their arcs are for the entire story, what is driving them, what are the barriers, that kind of stuff, as well as kind of the overall plot of the book. I have to make sure that those characters fit into that. So my goal today is just to really like kind of make a better outline for my edits, because this is the first book that I'll be editing all on my own with kind of like the drive to make it the best possible. And I am going to be using some materials that my fellow small author tuber Hudson McCarthy has made. And I'm really excited. I think this is going to be a great day. I already told my husband that this day is for me. I'm focusing on writing and writing alone. Maybe throwing some reading in there, depending, because I might get a little stir crazy. But for now, welcome to the vlog. I hope this is entertaining and enlightening for you guys, and I would love for you to kind of share any type of writing plans that you have over the next couple weeks. I will be checking in throughout the day, and like I said, I just hope this is fun. I'm excited, and I hope that you guys are also excited. So small change of plans, nothing major, but I made my sandwich. I'm gonna eat that. I'm really excited to eat it. And since it's like just afternoon and my dog, I just realized, has not gone to the bathroom yet today because she was sleeping all morning, like the lazy bum she is, I'm gonna actually go take her for a longer walk just because it's relatively nicer out, and I'm more afraid that like we're gonna end up getting like completely locked down where we're not even allowed outside unless it's like like pertinent situations. So in the event that that happens, I would like to take this time to go get as many walks in as possible. So I think after I finish my sandwich, I'm gonna go take her for a walk, and I'm going to listen to Lee Bardugo's Ninth House while we walk, and I'm just gonna enjoy the time outside. I did want to show you guys kind of like the steps that Hudson made to kind of help flesh out the book and like the premise and all that. Okay, so as you can see, she made this one outline that was like 7 key steps, and there's like a lot of questions which I think really will help me trying to get into make sure that both of my main characters have like their own unique goals, as well as all of like the plot, that they fit in with the plot and that the plot makes sense. And then the other thing, which is just the premise, is kind of basically talking about the plot itself. And I think both of these are going to be super helpful for me when I start to actually get into my prophecy project, because as I mentioned, there is a couple kinks that I have to work out, and I think I made like a good first draft overall, considering it was the first one I wrote from start to finish without stopping. But I definitely know that there are some plot holes, and there was definitely some things like I threw in there when I wrote that were just like filler because I just didn't know where I wanted to go. So that's going to be what I'm going to do when I come back from my walk and after I eat my sandwich. But yeah, I'm still looking forward. I'm just feeling so positive today, guys. Yeah, that's where we're at. Come on. Hi guys, so it is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I made probably one of the best iced coffees I've ever made in my life, and I'm living for this. It's just that simple. I'm a simple person. But I have been kind of prodding out, and I think I've gotten a pretty good idea of what I need to do. It's more of like once I actually get into the writing, that's probably where I'm going to find some difficulty in how I draft everything else, because as I mentioned, there are definitely things that I have to change. So basically, my story is kind of following these two twins, and the whole story is kind of playing with fate and whether, you know, you can outrun your destiny, if destiny is set in stone, if trying to outrun destiny ends up making you play right into what you were supposed to avoid, kind of like self-fulfilling prophecies. So, this title, I have it named as the Prophecy Project because that is essentially what it is that these two twins are separated at birth. but they don't know really why. And even my goal would be even to the reader that you don't really understand everything until you get to the end of the book. So the issue is like I'm trying to get from like where we start in the beginning, from when they're separated and they're approaching their 18th birthday, which is when the prophecy says that they are supposed to come into their powers and meet their fate. Now, I'm not going to give away what that fate is, because that is pretty much like the twist of the entire book. But my biggest struggle is that I wanted to make sure that the two characters were on the right path. And I think what I basically have to have them do is that the one character is completely in the dark. She has been kind of sheltered and lives like a simple life with her mother, but she has no idea of any of the past. Like everything has been like secret to her, but she doesn't actually know that. While the other sister has kind of grown up knowing to some extent what has kind of happened in her past, who she is, and has been practicing magic. So they're a very opposites, but they are twins. And like I said, the one twin does know more than the other one. So basically the one that knows more is kind of like the protector. Like she is like the silent champion for her sister, but like their sister doesn't know that she's even alive or who she is. The other sister, her main issue is that guards and soldiers end up coming from the king, and she has no idea why, and eventually she's going to find out that that's tied into her obscure past. So I think the main conflict of my book is going to be that the one sister is trying desperately to go save the other one from potential danger, and the other one is just trying to find out the truth of what is actually going on. You know, has my mother lied to me my entire life, and why do these soldiers like just show up at my house and I have to run? So that's kind of where I'm starting. The biggest thing is I had it's really funny because when I started writing my NaNo novel back in 2018, I made like a brief synopsis, or like a brief, like, I don't know, overview, I guess. And I kind of said that like actually, let me see if I can pull it up here, because that would be actually, I think, easier to talk about. By the way, is anyone on the the NaNoWriMo website? Because they keep updating it, and every time they update it, I think it's worse and worse and worse. It makes me so sad. Okay, so let's see. Oops. Oh yeah, okay. So this is what I said as my project summary. So it was two twins separated at birth, a prophecy that states one against the other, family secrets that can redetermine fate. What will happen when these two girls collide. So the prophecy, I definitely did change that. Like, it's not slating one against the other by any means, but the family secrets that can redetermine, that's what I lost in my first draft. And when I ended up thinking about this book again, it ended up being like a huge factor that I needed to put back in. So that's where I'm gonna probably struggle a little bit with getting that back in there to make it make both sisters kind of have an end goal, that they both need to understand their family history in order to kind of see the end of the book. So that is where I'm at. I definitely think that I have kind of written out some things. Now, again, I'm not the biggest plotter, but basically I have this sheet that I found online, and it was goal to decision cycle, and it was kind of like exactly what it says, like how do we start with our goal to get to the end of the decision. And I kind of wrote out a little bit of there, and I have used Hudson's 7 key steps in order to try to flesh out some more details. So as you can see, I kind of went through, and my two main characters, I kind of plotted out everything of what they need to do, and then I started to kind of bullet point my main story of events. Now, it's super, super basic, so I really am bad at outlining. I think that's just what we can determine, is I'm bad at outlining. But the nice thing is I'm editing. I'm not really writing fully, so I think I'll be okay. Overall, I feel like this was very productive, even if it's not like the most productive that people can be, but I'm just like so ready to dive back into this world. I'm really excited. The only downfall is that this is a young adult novel, and recently Hudson McCarthy on her channel had said how she doesn't want to debut as a young adult writer because she feels like it's harder to go from young adult to adult or other genres, and would rather start as in an adult category and work her way down. And I 100% agree with that. I do find that it's a much harder, like if you start off as a young adult. Personally, I do think it's harder because I think a lot of people judge you almost, and maybe it's like not necessarily full out that there's judgment, but I definitely think when people look at young adult, they just don't take that genre seriously. So as much as I think like this story could be much more quickly ready to go, other than like some of my other projects, I'm really afraid of querying this first. So my goal is that my co-written one with those edits as well will be on the ball with that more so than this one. But at the end of the day, like if this one is going to be ready to query, then I might end up just going forth with that. But we still have a while. I still need to do this edit. Then I'm going to print it out and do line it, like, well, not line edits, but I'm going to like print it out and kind of go through and like see like my small things. I'm going to give it to my critique partner or partners and then go through beta reading. So like I have a lot of steps before this one is definitely ready, but I feel like this one is so much more fleshed out than I thought it was before I started today. So we're going to see. Obviously I'm going to have a lot of vlogs. They're going to be weekly vlogs like I did for NaNoWriMo in 2019. So you can probably see the first one in like 2 weeks. But yeah, if you guys have any questions as far as my writing process, you know, the book itself, like I'm not going to give away like many plot details at this point, but if you guys have any questions on like how I'm like working through things, yeah, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to end up quitting the vlog here for today because I don't think I have as much else to talk about anymore. I think I'm in a good place. I'm going to finish my coffee. I might, I'm probably going to do like just some YouTube at this point and then maybe call it a day. But I think like I've worked, I don't know. I think I worked hard, but maybe I didn't. I don't know. It was just, it's a nice day. It was a nice day to write. So yeah, let me know down below if you guys have writing plans for Camp NaNo and what you will be working on, if so. And yeah, until next time guys, I'll see you then. Bye.